Coming up tonight on Middle Tennessee News.
I need 3. One more. Let's go.
We have the latest information on the shooting at Nashville's Covenant School.
This tragedy hits close to home. We will have some resources for you or anyone who might be struggling with mental health concerns. All those stories, plus your local weather and sports, Middle Tennessee News starts right now.
Good evening, I'm Kara Fullington.
And I'm Mary Beth Mangrum. Thank you for watching Middle Tennessee News. Middle Tennessee is still reeling from the Covenant School shooting in Nashville Monday. The victims are identified as students William Kinney, Hallie Scruggs, and Evelyn Dykhouse, all 9 years old. Also, church custodian 61-year-old Mike Hill, head of the school Dr. Catherine Kuntz, age 60, and substitute teacher Cynthia Peak, who was 61. The shooter was killed by 2 Metro Police Department officers, Officer Rex Engelbert, a 4-year Metro Police veteran, and Officer Michael Colazzo, a 9-year Metro Police veteran. The Uvalde Foundation for Kids plans to award those men a Medal of Honor for their quick actions. Metro Police identified the shooter as 28-year-old Audrey Hale. Police report that Hale bought 7 guns legally at 5 different locations in Nashville recently. Hale's parents told police that Hale was under doctor's care for an emotional disorder. Police found a manifesto in Hale's car, but will not release it while the investigation is ongoing.
First Lady Jill Biden is coming to Nashville to attend the largest vigil planned for the 6 victims. The vigil is taking place tonight in Nashville at One Public Square Park, starting at 5:30. Other memorials are set up throughout the community in support of the Covenant School. With this tragic event hitting close to home, MTSU wants to remind the community there are resources available for those affected by the violence. The Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, otherwise known as SAMHSA, says feelings of overwhelming anxiety and other depression-like symptoms are common responses to incidents of mass violence, especially in children. Multiple mental health operations are offering their services across the Mid-State, including the National Mass Violence Victimization Resource Center. They have released a spreadsheet of many different help options that can be used for a variety of health problems. All of these resources, including the various GoFundMe petitions, will be available on our website at middletennesseenews.net.
As we reported last week, Rutherford County Schools is considering virtual reality to prepare for possible school shootings. The VR technology would be a 3D map of district schools. It would provide different angles of windows and doors in order to locate a potential shooter from different perspectives. It would also show where a student or teacher would be standing. The technology isn't cheap. It would cost $800,000. It's still in the consideration phase.
A shooting in East Nashville has left 2 men injured and another in police custody. Police were dispatched to the scene at around 2:30 early Tuesday morning. Officers found 3 men, 2 were injured, and one of them had multiple gunshot wounds. Both are hospitalized and one is in critical condition. 23-year-old Justin Wakefield admitted to being the shooter and is now facing attempted criminal homicide and aggravated assault charges. He is currently being held in Metro Jail.
State lawmakers are reviewing a bill today that has some Tennesseans divided. SB 1325 is a bill that would permit teachers to carry a concealed handgun at school. The bill is sponsored by Senator Paul Bailey, and it has some specific regulations. Teachers would be required to go and get a permit and go through proper training. They would also need written authorization from school officials and the local chief of law enforcement. The gun would not be permitted at off-campus events. This is the 4th time this bill has been brought to Senate. It is currently a felony to have a firearm on school grounds.
It sounds like Governor Lee is bringing back a tax break from last year. Middle Tennessee News reporter Ryan Bowen has more on the proposal.
The rising prices seem to be everywhere, ranging from gas prices to the grocery store bills. Still early into the 2023 year marks it the second year of rising prices due to inflation. Last year, Governor Bill Lee implemented a grocery tax holiday in Tennessee for the month of August to provide relief amongst the nationwide increase in inflation. The state of the state, Governor Lee proposed to replicate this tax holiday again for this year, however extending it for 3 months.
Last August, we gave Tennessee families a 1-month break from grocery taxes to provide relief amid the nationwide inflation. We should do that again this year, but let's extend it to 3 consecutive months.
I think it's great. It'll help with the economy. I mean, groceries are sky high right now. People can't afford them.
Governor Lee has not yet announced when this tax holiday will take place. However, it is expected to occur like last year in August and continue through October. Items included in this holiday are grocery necessities such as meats, fruits, and vegetables. Items such as alcohol and cigarettes will not be included in this tax holiday. Inflation has been on the rise since mid-2021 from 2% all the way up to 11%, according to ECNOFACT. This continues to affect frequent grocery goers as their grocery bills have gone up by an average of 7.8%, according to the United States Department of Agriculture.
As a college student, I have a lot of other financial responsibilities like rent and tuition, and money is really hard to come by nowadays.
As it is needed, relief will be extended. In Rutherford County, Ryan Bowen, Middle Tennessee News.
And now Dylan Simmons joins us with our first look at the weather.
Thanks, Kira. Mother Nature has been kind to the Mid-State over the past few days, and that has continued today. Right now, Murfreesboro and Shelbyville have our highest temperature at a crisp 62 degrees with clear skies. Smithville has not had the same luck, but they still sit at a comfortable 60 degrees at the moment. The rest of our Mid-State cities find themselves in a similar spot. McMinnville, Woodbury, Mount Juliet, and Manchester are all currently at 61 near the top of the hour. Things will remain calm for a bit longer, but the weekend could present some precipitation problems. I'll have more on that later. Kira, back to you.
Thanks, Dylan. And still ahead on Middle Tennessee News, we have Dr. Larry Burris with this week's media commentary, and the FDA has approved a new medication as an over-the-counter drug. That's coming up next after the break. Stick around.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
My lonely days are gone. That's why I'm
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back. And the FDA has approved the drug Narcan to be sold without a prescription. Narcan is the best known form of naloxone and is able to reverse overdose from opioids, heroin, and other drugs. The nasal spray is on course to become the first opioid treatment drug. 100,000 U.S. deaths per year are due to the nationwide overdose crisis. The FDA hopes the over-counter Narcan nasal spray will control the crisis and become available without a prescription by late summer. And an event to collect hazardous household waste will be collected. Some items you can bring include fuel, gasoline, and pool chemicals. Some items to avoid are fireworks, gunpowder, and ammunition. Basically, no radioactives or explosives. The event will be on Saturday, April 1st from 8 a.m. till noon. It will be held at 4765 Florence Road in Murfreesboro.
The annual Saddle Up fundraiser returns to Middle Tennessee State University. The event is April 15th at the Tennessee Livestock Center from 8:30 a.m. until 11:30 a.m. There's an entire arena worth of indoor family-friendly activities. It also includes an auction with many family-friendly themes. Tickets are $10 per person, $40 maximum per family. Each ticket includes breakfast from Chick-fil-A, Krispy Kreme, and more. All proceeds from the event will go to the Ann Campbell Early Learning Center.
And now we have Dr. Larry Burris with this week's media commentary.
I was listening to the radio the other morning and heard a song about this young lady who threw her aspiring suitor off the roof of a downtown building. Then there was a song about a young man who was killed in a motorcycle accident, and then there was a car crash song in which a young woman was killed. Later, I saw a portion of a movie called International House, which included a song about a man getting high on marijuana. Believe it or not, none of these songs are current hits. The songs were from the late 50s and early 60s, and the movie, starring Cab Calloway, was from 1933. The point here is that music has always contained not only sugar and spice lyrics, but lyrics that others have found offensive. In fact, as far back as the late 1700s, there were complaints about the kinds of music young people were listening to in the local taverns. A question that is not often asked, however, is anyone out there really listening? The evidence seems to indicate that, in fact, people aren't listening to the words at all. A recent study, for example, found that when students were asked what were their 3 favorite songs, fewer than 1/3 could actually tell what the songs were about. And of nearly 700 songs the students named, less than 10% were about drugs, violence, and sex. As another example, researchers found that one commonly condemned song, Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin, was perceived as actually being about climbing stairs to heaven, and that a Bruce Springsteen song, Born in the USA, was seen as being everything from a super patriotic song about the joys of living in America to a protest song about the tragedy of the poor. The upshot of the research is that the lyrics in songs have little meaning for those who listen. In fact, only if the melody catches the listener's attention do they start to relate to the lyrics. I think the conclusion we can draw from all this is that people have been objecting to music for a long time, and the Republic is still standing. And besides that, most people don't pay any attention to what they're listening to anyway. I'm Larry Burris.
Thank you, Dr. Burris. Make sure to tune in next week for his next media commentary.
MTSU's music program has always been able to stand out with student artists. Even more so with their collection of Steinway pianos. Steinway pianos are the top-of-the-line pianos in the industry. MTSU purchased 57 of the upright models in 2002 after using loaner pianos when they could. Steinway produces less than 1% of all instruments used today, but professionals use them exclusively. Earning the medal of an all-Steinway school 20 years ago, MTSU is hosting a concert in honor of the designation. You can enjoy faculty and students in concert at 7:30 p.m. on April 4th. It's in the Hinton Hall in the Wright Music Building.
And now we have Dylan back with us to tell us about tonight's forecast. Dylan, what do you got for us?
Thanks, Kira. Our lows tonight could present some chilly conditions in the mid-state cities. Murfreesboro will suffer the hardest fall as they will go from 62 to 34 degrees by the end of the night. This cold streak will also be a familiar trend for the neighbors, with temperatures dropping across the board. Smithville will also be kept in a cooler, with 34 degrees as the low tonight. McMinnville and Shelbyville will only be marginally higher, with 35 as their cellar. Mount Juliet, Manchester, and Woodbury will all see 36 degrees as their coldest mark. If you're going out tonight, make sure you keep your coat handy and maybe bring some mittens along as well. When we return, I will have your full 5-day forecast for the rest of the week. Kira, back to you.
Thanks, Dylan. And still ahead on Middle Tennessee News, Dylan will be back with our full 5-day forecast, and Matthew Hayden will join us from the MTN Sports Den with a full report over everything Blue Raider athletics this weekend.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Middle Tennessee News, and Dylan Simmons is back now with our full look at the weather forecast. Dylan, I hear there may be some rain in the forecast. What do you have for us?
Well, Kira, that certainly could be the case. The sun is smiling in Murfreesboro right now on your hump day, as we have clear skies with 62 degrees and no chance of precipitation. Our high today will reach 64 before dropping by 30 degrees for a low of 34 with a 5% chance of rain. Thursday elevates our high to 70 degrees, but at the cost of cloudy skies and overhanging clouds throughout the day. We will also see the temperature only marginally drop to 54 during the night with no rain, but this is a harbinger of things to come. For Friday, we will see the rain strike back with a 50% chance of precipitation and a high of 71 degrees for the daylight hours. As darkness falls, we will only see the rain thicken as we increase to a 70% chance of rain with a low of 58 degrees on the night. We emerge on Saturday with a flip script and clear skies once again. The high will only reach 66 degrees, however, and the low will be 38, but precipitation will be kept to a minimum at only a 10% chance. Sunday will be a rewind of Saturday with a high of 68 during the day to go along with a sunny sky and little chance of rain. As we enter dark hours, things will remain relatively calm with a 7% rain chance and a low of 48 degrees. Rain does appear as though it will be on the way soon, so take advantage of the sun you can catch throughout the rest of the week. That's all I've got for now. Make sure you tune in on Monday, April 3rd for our next look at mid-state weather. Kira, back to you.
Thanks, Dylan. Matthew Hayden's getting ready over in the MTN Sports Den. He will have all things Blue Raider athletics. Stick around after the break.
Son, love is like the ocean. You have to tread the waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Jessica, will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. I could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Natural disasters are a fact of life in the U.S. And between activities and school, chances are you won't be with your kids when they happen. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids can help your children feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio has gotten a little out of hand.
A little?
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Welcome back. Let's get things rolling here in the Sports Den. To start us off, we have the Lady Raiders returning from their trip down south in Louisiana. After securing another CUSA Series win last weekend, the Lady Raiders look to continue their hot streak here in Murfreesboro. The Raiders will welcome the Florida Atlantic Owls to the Borough, starting this Friday.
Lines that one, and that'll be
MTSU's
caught,
recent
and it'll be a
success
double
has been
play.
connected to their performance on the mound. With a staff led by the dynamic duo of Gretchen Mead and Cameron Karsich, the staff has a team ERA of 2.36. Now the Owls rock a 2.21 team ERA, so the numbers point towards a pitcher's duel this weekend. Friday's game is set for 6 p.m., Saturday is set for 4 p.m. and will be airing on ESPN+. And finally, the series finale on Sunday is scheduled at noon. The baseball team had a quick stop in Huntsville before they were back from the weekend series at the ballpark. After a rocky trip down to Boca Raton, MTSU looked to change the tide heading back to the Borough. Before they got home, though, they matched up with the Alabama Crimson Tide at Toyota Field in Huntsville. The Raiders jumped out early with a 3-run home run from Jeremiah Boyd and an RBI single from Gabe Jennings to get ahead 4-0 in the fourth. But it was all Crimson after that, as Alabama proceeded to score 10 runs throughout the rest of the game. MTSU will come back to Reese Smith Jr. Field with a CUSA weekend series against the FIU Panthers. Friday's match is set for 6 p.m., Saturday is at 3 p.m., and Sunday is at 1 p.m. All 3 matches will be aired on ESPN+. Men's tennis is joining the ride of coming back to the Borough with this weekend as well. They come back home with a new ITA ranking that puts them at number 28 this week. Not for the action on the court, the team did have a match set in West Tennessee against the Memphis Tigers on Friday, but Mother Nature had other plans resulting in a cancellation for the match. As for the events at the Adams Tennis Complex, the men's are set for a doubleheader, rain or shine. The first match against the number 30 VCU Rams at noon. They will then follow that with a 4 p.m. match versus the Alcorn State Braves. If the sun is shining, all action will be held on the outside courts at ATC, but if showers come, all actions will be moved indoors and will also be streamed live on the MTN Sports YouTube channel. The Lady Raiders in tennis round out the sports action with their return home too. After a month's trip that saw 9 road games, the Lady Raiders finally returned to the ATC. They are putting their mark in the long history of the 100 Miles of Hate book this Friday as they welcome the WKU Hilltoppers. This series has been all MTSU as they led with a 12-2 record all time. The Lady Raiders rock a 6-0 record at home this year, so they look to keep their flawless streak at home this Friday alive. To finish off the sports action, we want to give a huge congratulations to Love Star Alexis for winning CUSA Athlete of the Week. The game's location will also be decided by Mother Nature. Sunshine will be an outdoors match for Friday, but rain will push it inside in ATC and will also bring an MTN Sports live stream on the MT Sports YouTube channel. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Matt. We look forward to seeing our men's and women's tennis this weekend play at home. And finally tonight, as Women's History Month wraps up, MTSU is honoring faculty and students who have embodied this year's theme, Women Who Tell Our Stories.
The Trailblazer Award is given to MTSU community members on and off of MTSU's campus who uplift and serve women. This year, they are recognizing women who are active in all forms of media and storytelling. The honorees this year are Assistant Professor Christina Cobb, Director of the School of Journalism and Strategic Media Dr. Katie Foss, Coordinator Lori Huertas, and Hayden Gracie Sizemore, a student who won Future Trailblazer. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you so much for joining us for Middle Tennessee News. If you missed this or any other show, you can watch them on our website, middletennesseenews.net.
Make sure to follow us on all social media sites on Facebook /Middle Tennessee News or at Middle TN News on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. We'll see you on Monday for our next show.
Son, love is like the ocean. You have to tread the waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Jessica, will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Or maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with